I'm kind of different because I'm also a woman, but I'm also a Druze. So it's like being a minority within a minority. I call it like that.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley, in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Turing, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, and in media partnership with C-Tech. For this episode of 20-Minute Leaders, I'm joined by Suzan Zaher, software developer and team lead at CodeValue. Suzan is a 26-year-old Druze Israeli married woman, a software developer and a team lead in the high-tech industry in CodeValue. She is working on a project of a complex imagery analysis system, integrating solutions for presenting a big amount of two-dimensional and three-dimensional imagery data in web platforms and seeking to be an influencer in the tech industry. Suzan Zaher, thank you so much for joining me on 20-Minute Leaders. How are you?
Thank you, Michael, for having me. I'm very excited actually to talk to you today. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Where are you calling from right now?
Actually, from my home. I'm sitting in the dining room, so you actually can see everything.
Perfect. And
Yes.
where is home right now? Where in Israel?
I live in Dalit El Carmel. It's a village, Druze village on the Mount Carmel, the Carmel Mountain. So yes.
Beautiful. Well, it's a place that I visit very, very often, and and I like that. That's we're starting our conversation, usually talking about the journey of the person and what they do, and then the higher trend of their domain expertise. And today you're a team leader at CodeValue, an engineer. Not a trivial path, I think, from what I understand from your background, to become an engineer, let alone a team leader, and definitely a big influence in the Druze community, and we'll get to that as well, and your perspective on that and the impact there. But Suzan, take me a little bit throughout your personal journey. How do you find yourself, as a team lead at CodeValue?
Okay, so almost maybe 8 years ago, I really had no relationship to code or software. Almost no exposure or awareness to it. I really had no idea back then what I'm going to do as I grow up, but I knew I was going to do something interesting and important. So really after graduating from school, I was considering different things to do. Eventually, I found like industrial engineering very interesting as a profession, where it's all about process optimization in companies and complex systems. So it's all about solving big problems and offering smart solutions. So I started studying in the Technion and Institution of Technology. And from there, I had to do some mandatory courses. So really in my first semester, which included actually introduction to computer science, I immediately fell in love. And I found a really deep interest of how computer works. And I felt kind of natural connection to this kind of thinking, the way computer thinks or operates. So it was so rational and it made sense. So I decided to go in that way and major in information system, where I took computer science courses. And eventually, in my last semester, I started a boot camp in CodeValue almost for almost 6 months, I think, where eventually I was ready to work as a software engineer. So this is my way to CodeValue and how I get into the tech industry.
So, most people that I have on this show, and I think the current story of most engineers, unfortunately, there's always the anomalies, is that, they grow up almost with a computer in their hands, and they're surrounded by people that are engineers. And it's almost, from the moment that you go to first grade, okay, I want to be a computer engineer. Was that the case for your end? Is this the environment that you grew up in?
No, actually, I had no connection to it. I was a good student. I was a good student in school. But I knew I was going to do something important, but I really didn't know what I'm going to do. And so, no, there was no no connection to computers or technology maybe. So, but I found like when I just start studying, like I was open-minded and I saw a lot of domains that I can go and really influence. And actually, I see my profession being a programmer or being a software engineer, it's like for me influencing and doing really doing things that it's a tool for me to influence and do things in today's world. So this is actually how I look at it. It's more like a way of life rather than just being a profession or a job, a daily job to do.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And so as you progress and you get into the world of engineering and you become a software engineer and a team leader.
Okay.
Tell me what surprised you along this path. What did you learn about this industry or this ecosystem that growing up you didn't necessarily expect?
Okay, so actually, I bring when I do this work, you need to learn how you need to be really open-minded again. So you need to see everything. You need to see the whole picture. You need to understand what the client's needs. What are the needs for the client? And you need also to build the right team with the right people, with the right technology stack in order to achieve what you want to do. So it's all about learning along this process. I know how you bring your uniqueness. So you learn from the best from your teachers, experts in the company, but you also bring your own to everything. You have to bring your own to everything. So for me, it's bringing because I'm different. I'm kind of different because I'm also a woman, but I'm also a Druze. So it's like being a minority within a minority. I call it like that. So yes, so
Wow.
yeah, so I'm also bringing also being minority in the gender aspect, but also I'm bringing my culture with me, my beliefs, my life into work, into my daily work. So I think you have to bring your own into your daily job, and that's when you make things special. That when things you make different things.
Very, very cool. And let's continue on this minority within a minority because
Okay.
It's an important subject.
Yes.
It's not being talked about enough, and I think that even when it is being talked about, I think that we're lacking the real personal aspect and where it actually meets you and what from inside you are actually observing. So talk to me. I would love to first understand a little bit better the Druze community. And, the reason I was asking before about your upbringing is that, the Druze community is an integral part of Israel and the Israeli ecosystem. It is not yet an integral enough part of the high-tech industry. And I think thanks to people like you, hopefully very soon it will become. But tell me a little bit about the Druze community and what you're observing.
So we want to talk about the Druze community. I think maybe 1.4% of the total population in Israel are Druze. So the Druze are really Arabic speaking. But what makes us unique is because we serve in the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. So yes, so this is what really makes us unique. It's not just about that. It's more than that. It's not just serving in the military, because the feeling of belonging is what makes us different. We really feel belong to this place. So actually, more than it's a population, Druze is actually a religion. So if you want to know about it more, it's esoteric, monotheistic. So we believe in one God. We are kind of secret religion. So only the people that are religious really read from the Holy Book and really understand the religion. But yes, you said it. Everything, it's not perfect. Okay. So it's not like everything perfect here in this country, but I'm saying that we want to fight for us. It's not just we're fighting the country, like we're fighting for it. Okay, so we want to be part of this place. Right. So yes, you talked about the high tech industry and how we can bring more people to the high tech and more Druze people to the high tech industry. And it's all about awareness. It's all about to know this population, to know this community, to learn about it more, to visit their people, and maybe to start more investing in the education system and bringing awareness to all this industry that really can make change. So you can see, so people can know it better and be aware of it. That's it. I think this is one of the things that I do right now is really doing that. Like people can look at me and say, okay, so there's a lot of women and people and Druze that can really be in the high tech industry.
Right. And so within the Druze community, how much is it integrated into the Israeli tech ecosystem today?
I think there's a lot of Druze people in the tech industry. Maybe not enough. Again, because of the separate education system, we have really separate from we don't learn computer science. Maybe today more, but back then, I think when I was in high school, I didn't learn computer science, or I wasn't aware to it. Unlike our parents worked in different domains and different fields, so we're not really was exposed to it. So I think it's all about exposing things and get things into awareness.
Right. And I'd love to understand a little bit your experience better, because, you know, I think that the experience of a minority within a minority, it really is an important one. And I think it's one that doesn't only meet you, I guess, when I'm interviewing you for a podcast and asking you about it, but I'm sure it also comes back to your daily life, whether it's, you know, when you come home and you tell people that you're working on something that is not necessarily something they're familiar with from your community, or perhaps when you're in the workplace and you know, people feel that you may be a little bit different, or you may feel that you're a little bit different. So tell me a little bit about your personal experience and how you perceive this difference.
They ask me what you do in your daily job. Okay, so you're sitting all day in front of computer. You do nothing. Like you're just sitting all day. Maybe, right. Yeah. So I have to explain to them what I do. I have to maybe use some real applications, and I say I do this. I eventually do this. I connect all the dots together and solve problems. Complex problems. And that's what I do. All day I'm sitting and programming. And it's hard to explain. And also there's an aspect of investing a lot of time in it. It's a way of life, because when you are engineer, you have to make it your life. And sometimes you find less time to invest in friends and family. And you really don't have time. And they ask you, like, why you're not calling me, why you're not talking about your like we're not seeing each other enough. And I need to explain that this is my life. It's all about this thing. Okay. So I try to invest in other aspects, but it's really hard to explain to people because we're a small community, kind of a small community. So yes, but it's in the other way, in the other side, I love it. I feel it empowers me. Okay. So it really empowers me. I grow from it because I have this support.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Very, very cool. And so, Suzan, tell me a little bit about the job of a team leader. So, you know, becoming a manager through education and through being a software engineer, the responsibility of being team lead.
Yes.
What does that mean to you, and how does that actually play in your daily life?
Okay, so being a team lead, it's more like, for me, it was kind of natural. I always, even though when I was just coding, I felt responsibility. I take everything too close to me, to my life. So when I have some feature to do, I really think about it all the time. So it's part of me. And I felt the responsibility back then, before I was a team lead. So for me, doing this job, it's kind of natural. So I do it like it's not just a team lead. It's not really being a team lead. You need to work with a team. So as one. So I'm not doing everything, but I kind of lead the way. So if there's a problem, I can help solving this problem, but I'm not doing anything alone. So it's all about the team and the people. So I do it like it's natural. I do it like in my daily job. I just don't think about it too much.
Very, very cool. And transitioning from being an engineer, hands-on, primarily coding, to now
doing the
overseeing a team of engineers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
How does that balance?
It's hard because you still need because you still need to program or do the engineer stuff in order to keep being professional. So both aspects are very important to me. So I invest in both aspects. I try as much as I can to invest in both aspects. But again, maybe it's half being a team lead, and the other half of the time I'm being a programmer or engineer. So it's both. I can say it's not easy thing to do, but you need to handle this.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And so, Suzan, going back a little bit to the idea of impact, and part of the work that you're doing is already making a positive impact. But from your perspective, within now this world, what needs to happen to have more inclusion and to have more diversity within the different minority groups, whether it's within organizations, that in high-tech organizations, whether it's in the education system, whether it's in the actual places where you live? What are some tangible things that even young people can do to follow your path? That you can learn coding simply by by using your mobile phone or any old laptop. You don't need the most advanced technologies to learn how to code today, to get to the Technion and then to get into these amazing companies.
Yes, they have you need to see a role model. Okay, so you need to see people in this industry before you can do it. You need to think big. You need to think big. You need to, again, to be open-minded. So it's not going to happen like this. You have to, again, I think you have to invest in every aspect to bring the Druze community inside the Israeli ecosystem or whatever you call it. So it's in every aspect, in education, in the daily, really know the language, maybe, and being part of this Israeli ecosystem. And I really think it's hard. You need to work on it. You need more people like me, so people can see us and learn from us. Okay.
Definitely.
Yes.
And Suzan, I think that obviously that this is not the main thing that you do in the day to day. I focused our conversation on this, I think, primarily because it's a conversation that is important to have, and I think that part of being a role model is also understanding a little bit deeper your personal journey and your personal perspective, and hopefully whoever is watching this, whether it's from the Jewish community or any other minority community, can feel empowered and understand that that anything is possible. You don't have to grow up with a laptop in your hand. Definitely. And I really want to thank you for coming here. And I know that you're doing incredible things at CodeValue as well. We didn't even talk about what you do with geographic information. With geographic information systems and image analysis and really, really cool things that I'm also really passionate about. But I think we'll save that for another episode. 20 minutes go by very quick. But I do have a few short questions about you. And I wanted you to take me back to your childhood. And, whether it's from the education system or just from home, what were some things that you were passionate about as a kid? What really fascinated you?
Okay, it's a hard question. I need to think about it. But I think it's more about change and process. Like when you see people doing, like I saw my parents living their life and trying to handle some difficulties in life. And when I see how they overcome things, for me, it wasn't that easy at first because I thought like, yeah, so when you deal with things in your childhood, you see your parents and you say, how are they doing this? Like, it's really hard. And I think they are my inspiration. I look at them and I see how they operate in the daily life and how they care about us. And at the same time, they go to their jobs and work and come home. So it's more about the change, the things that they do over time and how they achieve things and how they overcome challenges. And it's more about that. Yes.
Amazing. Yes. And some inspiration for you as you go along your journey, professionally or personally, who served as that inspiration?
Some inspiration for me. Okay, it's really hard to think about when you like really ask this question this way, and you need to think what are the inspiration people along the way.
Maybe even somebody, not necessarily the role model, but somebody or something that gave you some inspiration along the way that looking back, you're thinking, wow, that made an impact.
Yeah. Okay. So I think at first I was seeing things differently. Like I wanted to go to work, to be successful, to do something important. But today I think about it differently because I see people around me, smart people, that see things differently. And it wasn't for me when I was young. I didn't think that way. Like thinking big, seeing, really achieving big things that you can do everything, whatever you want. And for me, I worked in my daily life. I really think that I can do everything. And it's just about really doing this small job or small feature in work, but really influence and do big things. And this is the inspiration, I think, for me.
Very, very cool. And what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
Maybe curiosity. I'm a curious person about life in general. And this is what really motivates me. Find difficulties more as challenges. I can't describe it in 3 words, but I can say that, difficulties more as a challenge. Maybe being interested in human behavior, behavior change, and all that stuff. And really, I'm a really enthusiast who sees technology as a tool to bring a change.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Suzan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
And for your inspiration and for you being a role model for others. And thank you for sharing your story with me. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you, Michael.